Hello, let's do Wordle number 712. And for the universe theme, that bassist is salty that Pluto was downgraded to a dwarf planet. Was it like 2 decades ago now? Something like that. I didn't look up the date. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson is actually credited with doing that, although I don't know if that's apocryphal. Again, I didn't research this, but what I do know is that there is a positive way to think about this. I know that we all grew up, well, not all of us, but many of us grew up with Pluto as a planet. And it's sad to be like, oh, Pluto's not in the list of planets anymore. Pluto's a dwarf planet. Well, I would say that Pluto was upgraded from smallest weird planet to largest normal dwarf planet. And I think it makes sense because if Pluto were to be considered a planet, then we would need a bunch of new planets because we keep finding more and more objects in our solar system that are just like Pluto and would be called planets in that case. And so science that happens where we discover new things and we have to adjust our definitions and terminology. And I think that it was appropriate. So come at me, but I think that you can think of it as a positive thing that Pluto now has a bunch of friends and is the largest of them. So there we go. That's my spiel on that. So let's do Pluto and dwarf and see how that goes. Well, we got an A. Unfortunate. Rolled out a bunch of letters, though. So vowel-wise, we still haven't tried I, E, and Y. So there's a lot of vowel options here. It feels like we may need some of those. You know what I want to try? I want to try mangy. It tests Y at the end, and I feel like with an A not in the middle, for some reason in my mind that says probably ends in Y. I could be wrong. But especially with the letters we're missing. So test that, and the N is pretty good. And honestly, we're at the point where M and G aren't too bad either. So let's give that a try. Hey, look at that. The A is where I thought it would be, and it ends in Y. So we need to be careful because there could be a trap here. I was thinking about A-C-K-Y, but the only word I can think of is hacky. And I don't know if hacky would be like an answer. It could also be like A-I something Y. Can't be Daisy. It could also be, I was going to say A something E-Y. Can it be A something E-Y? Maybe. KG is gone. KG would have been a pretty good guess instead of mangy as well. Cavey, like a cave. I'm not seeing a word that screams to me, yes, that's a normal word, let's guess that. I'm thinking about going with hacky here, but let me give it a little bit more thought. I was just reminded about how hard khaki was, just because I'm thinking about words that sound like that, but something like cabby, a word? I wouldn't want to guess cabby right now, though. Is sacky a word? Not really. I really can't think of anything else. I guess I'll go with hacky because I can't think of anything else, and I'm hoping to get some info here, but at least at worst it'll roll out the H, C, and K, so. Well, that is the worst case scenario, but look at all the gray on this keyboard. I guess it's right there. It's almost all gray. Look at that. The S, the E, and the I are really things. I might have to do a filler here. Oh, savvy. Oh, how did I not think of that? With more grays, it pops out. Have we had savvy before? It would be bad to guess savvy and get those gray because, I don't know. Oh, and there's jazzy. There's also jazzy. I don't think we've had jazzy yet. For some reason, I'm thinking we had savvy. If it's just those two, I'm willing to guess jazzy. But if it's not just those two, that jazzy is a very dangerous thing to guess on 5. Do I do a filler? Is bevy I think might be a word, but not spelled that way, and it doesn't work because A is second. Sassy. Sassy is another option. Okay, now I have 3 options, although, hold on. Savvy would tell me if it's sassy, which means I can't guess jazzy here. So if I'm either going to do a filler or I'm going to guess sassy or savvy here. Unless I can think of another word. Because jazzy would leave sassy and savvy, so I can't do jazzy, even though it probably is jazzy if you ask me. I somehow avoided guessing S this whole time, which probably shouldn't have done that. It feels to me like I should guess sassy, because there's probably an S and it'll tell me where it is. I'm really scared that there's another word, but you know what? Let's take the risk. Let's guess sassy, because that's a fun one to guess. Let's guess vibe. Like, that seems so dangerous. Okay, I got nothing from sassy. So it's not savvy either. So I think it has to be jazzy. I think it's time to go with jazzy. Is it jazzy? Oh, it is jazzy. When the J turned green, I was like, there's nothing else. It's jazzy. Oh my gosh. Imagine if I'd celebrated and it was like something else though after the J. Oh, that would have been sad. Oh my gosh, jazzy is a tough word. Sassy would have been tough too. So would savvy. All three of those options I had left would have been tough. So, wow. Yeah, no wonder I wasn't getting letters. J and 2 Z's. Who guesses those letters? All right. Well, I think we might have some. Streak ends today, but yeah. Let me know how you did. Now, it's interesting. I don't think it's significantly harder in hard mode today because you're not going to get stuck. Like, you're always going to get 3 letters in every guess, which isn't that bad. I mean, I did a hard mode solve here, and it wasn't a particularly good one. But getting locked into Y at the end is not so bad. Getting locked into A here is not so bad. And you're not going to guess a J or Z. And if you do, then you're going to get the answer. So, interesting. Any pizza starters today? Pizza starters are happy. Wow, that's just fun. That's just fun. All right. Let's spin the wheel themes. See what tomorrow's theme brings us. Cereal. Nice. Brendan suggested a cereal theme, so 2 words related to cereal in some way. Remember that you should, if you're doing something like a brand name or a proper name, you should check to see that it's accepted by Wordle. But I'm interested to see how creative you get with this. And of course, if you enjoyed this content, and how could you not have, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.